Iyara o, kama shefa we jabara. Iyara o, kama shefa we jabara. Jesu ba o, kagbadura, kayi Jesu logo. Iyara o, kama shefa we jabara. Iyara o, kama shefa we jabara. Jesu ba o, kagbadura, kayi Jesu logo. Iyara o, kama shefa we jabara. Iyara o, kama shefa we jabara. Jesu ba o, kagbadura, kayi Jesu logo. Iyara o, kama shefa we jabara.
Thanks for welcoming us into your living room again today. We are going to continue with our series on fasting. Why fast? Last week we talked about what Jesus said about fasting. Jesus said there are some types of problems that will not go away except by fasting and praying. And this is one of the reasons why Christians are sometimes frustrated, because they pray, other people pray for them, but nothing happens. Just like the story in Matthew chapter 17, the disciples prayed. These are people who knew how to cast out demons. They've casted out demons before. It's not a new experience for them. But when they tried this time, it didn't work. They prayed and prayed and prayed, but nothing worked. Until Jesus came back from his trip with some of his disciples. When he showed up, the father of the son came to Jesus and said, "Hey, I came looking for you. You are not here. I saw your disciples and I asked them to pray." Probably said, "Because I know they can cast out demons. They've done it before. But they prayed this time. They prayed and prayed and nothing happened." And after Jesus casted out the demons, he The disciples asked him, "Why, Jesus, why? Why? Why couldn't we do this thing? We've done it before." And Jesus said, this type. Listen, some versions of the Bible changed this verse. So if you have one of those weird versions of the Bible, go and buy the real one, because you won't find this verse there. You'll find it in King James Version. You'll find it in Modern King James Version. Actually, we have a few verses that we use to test the Bibles to see if they were written by fake people. I mean, think of it. How can you what's the best way to mess up a religion? Give them fake book. Take their main book, remove some important things, leave things that are not that important inside, and you've defeated their faith. And try to make it look like this is a more modern version, so that people will buy. So people will buy, and they won't know. I was preaching a similar message in California, Whittier, California, one time, and I asked people to open their Bible to read from this verse, and they couldn't find it. They couldn't find it in their version of the Bible. There are many things we look for to know if a Bible is genuine or if it's fake. There are fake Bibles out there, okay? There are fake Bibles out there. In case you don't know, there are. So, if you have one of those fake Bibles, go ahead and just get a software on your phone, download free Bible, and make sure you have the good version that contains all the things that you need to be able to run a good race. So Jesus told them, this time, you don't know if you have this time. So if you have a very stubborn problem that you've been praying about for so long and nothing seems to be happening, it's not moving anywhere, know that it is this type of problem. You need to fast and pray to be able to get rid of this type. Jesus told the disciples, if you want to handle this type, I attended a seminar a few months ago about pulmonary cancer. They said they have the long type and they have the short type, different types. Problems in this world have different types. When you are dealing with the type that are not this type, you pray and it's okay. But when you hit this type, you gotta fast. So today we turn to number 2 reason. We turn to number 2, the second reason, and we find it in the book of Esther. Esther. The second reason for fasting. All these reasons are drawn from the scriptures. We're not bringing anything out of mere human wisdom. Paul said, I didn't come to you in the wisdom of men. I came to you in the power of the gospel, the power of God. I did not preach to you intellectualism. I did not preach to you an intellectual message. I preached to you a message of power. Said, "Oh foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you to make you turn away from the things that you have learned?" Hallelujah. So, Esther, another reason why people fast, we find in the book of Esther, is to turn things around, to turn situations around. When you want to turn situations around, when situations need to be turned around, we see in that story, it was centered around two men, Haman and Mordecai, two individuals. The book of Esther. And I encourage you strongly to read your scriptures, read your Bible, because that is where you find faith. Haman and Mordecai. Haman was a guy who loved human worship. He wants people to bow down before him while worship. And Mordecai was not going to do that, because he knew the scriptures. Mordecai was a Jew in the land of captivity, but he was an official. So he was not going to bow down to Haman, even though Haman was higher than him in hierarchy, in the level. So this made Haman very mad, because other people were bowing down. Who are you? You're just a common Jew. Why will you not bow down? And Mordecai was like, this is not personal. This is about what I believe. I don't do that. I can't do that. And Haman got mad. So he went to the king and said, "King, here is some money. There's a group of people in this kingdom. They were captured people. They were brought here like they came here as second-hand citizens, second-class citizens. Maybe second-hand, but second-class, okay, citizens. Second-hand would be offensive, but that's how they were treated, like second-hand citizens. So, and the king said, yeah, it's okay, anything you want, go and do it. I will pay. And Haman was like, I will pay into the treasury. So Haman wrote a little mail and sent it to different people in the kingdom, that on a certain day, because this one man called Mordecai will not bow before me, everyone, just destroy all the Jews that are in your neighborhood. Kill them. Every single one of them. So that this type of problem will never happen again. one person offends, let's kill all of them. So this problem, we never see this problem again. Because if you kill only Mordecai, there will still be another Jew that will still have this same belief. And you will disrespect somebody else later. We don't want that to happen. So just kill all of them and problem solved. Everyone. And so the letter went out, and people were waiting for that day to come so that they can kill all the Jews in that kingdom. Maybe some neighbors already had some issues with some Jews, some things they didn't like. So this was the opportunity to destroy these Jews. You know, they are very disrespectful people. They don't respect people. Let's destroy them because they don't respect us. They should be destroyed. That's the only solution. Punishing them is not enough. They have to die. So when Mordecai saw this decree, this mail that went out, destroyed his clothes, he torn his garments and money, started mourning. But Mordecai happens to be a guy who raised a little girl called Esther because her parents were not there. And this Esther became one of the wives of the king. So Esther was in the palace. So Mordecai sent a message to Esther. Say, maybe you have not read this new decree. But the decree said that all Jews are going to be destroyed. And Esther said, so what do I need to do? Say, well, you are a wife of the queen, of the king. You are one of the wives of the king. Talk to the king so that they can nullify this decree. And Esther was like, these last few days the king has not called me. Because the king has many wives, so he can call anyone he wants at any time. But he has not called me. And we have a law in this land. The law is that if the king doesn't call you and you go to the king, you could die. Unless the king stretches his scepter towards you, you will die. And Mordecai was a little furious. Was like, do you think because you are in the palace you are going to be saved? You are a Jew. Maybe God put you in that palace because of this time. Maybe that's your reason. And of course, if you choose not to help the Jews at this time, God will bring salvation to the Jews from another place. But you will live with the consequences for the rest of your life. And Esther said, okay, I cannot see the king, but I will see the king. If I die, I die. But I have only one thing requirement of you, Mordecai. Ask people to fast and pray for me. So at least we know we have done our best. If God answers the prayer, he will not kill me. The king will not kill me. If God answers the prayer, if God doesn't answer the prayer, maybe the king will kill me. But that's okay. If I perish, I perish. Fasting can turn bad situations around. That's why we fast. Terrible situations, fearful situations like this, bad situations can be turned around. I remembered when I gained admission into the university for my master's program, my MBA program. I was told, God revealed to me that I would come out, with flying colors. I would do well in the MBA program. I would be so successful. Everything would be fine. Be on top of my class. I'll be very good. So I was excited. I was so happy. I went in. But as soon as I entered, things changed. The promises that I received before going into the program started looking like a mirage. They started looking like something that will never be achieved unless the situation is turned around, unless there is a divine intervention. A few weeks into the program, our teacher gave us a group assignment, and he asked us to choose groups that we want to be in. So people chose their groups. While we were choosing, I went to a group of people. They said, "Oh, we are full." I went to another one. They said, "Oh, we are full." So at the end of the day, I had no group. So I couldn't even do the assignment. So if I cannot do the assignment, how can I come out in flying colors? How can I end up on the top of my class? So I was still dealing with that, thinking of how to solve that problem. Everyone, no, we're full, we're full, we're full, we're full. Then another problem occurred. I'm the type that likes to study towards the exam. So at the beginning of the semester, I collect questions, past questions. So when I study during the semester, I use those questions to guide me. I try to answer them as we discuss each topic in class. So I went to the department. "Please give me a copy of past questions." "Oh, sorry, we cannot find them." "Come back after 2 weeks. We'll give them to you." I went back after 2 weeks. "Oh, sorry, we haven't found them." Another 2 weeks. So this was my situation. The promise that God gave was beginning to look like it will never happen. Until one day I was praying. I went before the Lord. I said, "Lord, this is the promise you gave me. And if you're out there, God has given you some promises, and you're looking at the way things are going around you, it looks like those promises are not going to happen. It looks like they will never happen. It looks like in actual way you're going the opposite direction." God did not lie. It's the devil that is trying to fight the promise that God has given you, and you can fight back. That's another reason for fasting. So I was praying this day about it, And while praying, right there, I didn't even sleep. It was not a dream. I saw a picture of this mountain. It's like a mountain. So the mountain was kind of big, but God cut through the mountain. It's like a cross section. You just cut through. And I saw inside a lot of good things under the rock. And when I began to meditate on this revelation, I realized it was talking about the promises that God gave me. Those promises are the ones that were hidden underneath that rock. So I have to figure out how to remove the rock so I can get to the blessings that God has promised me, the promises. So I decided to fast and pray. So I began to fast. I fasted for 3 days. And after fasting for 3 days, I was on my way to class. And one of the students that I approached before to join their group said, "Hey, have you found a group?" I said, "No, not yet. I don't have any group." He said, "Okay, our group is okay. You can join us." Same day, another student called me. "Hey, did you find a group?" I said, "No." He said, "Okay, come and join me. Come and join us." So now I went from not being able to join a group to having to choose which group I should join. And a few days later, I went back to the department. "Hey, the past question. Oh, we've been looking for you. We have it. You can have the past questions." They gave me, and I made copies and returned it back to them. So one of the reasons people fast is to turn situations around. Of course, by the grace of God, I finished so well the MBA program that I was invited back to the same department to become a lecturer. That's how I became a university lecturer. Mordecai and Haman were having issues. He told Esther, "You need to talk to the king before things get out of hand." Esther said, "Ask all the Jews to fast and pray for me. Let them fast and pray for me, and we'll see what will happen." So they prayed, they fasted, and prayed for her. And Esther decided to go to the king without being called. And because people fasted and prayed, when the king saw her, he extended the scepter. So she was not killed. That was the first victory. And the king said, "Hey, queen, why? What can I do for you? Why have you come at such a time?" And Esther said, "I need to make a feast. I want to invite you to a feast. And during that feast, we will discuss." But the king said, "Yeah, that's fine." So at the feast, the Esther also invited Haman. Haman did not only try to kill all the Jews, he also tried to arrange a special death for Mordecai. He didn't want Mordecai to die a common death. He wanted the death of Mordecai to be very special. So he dug a gallows, a hole. He prepared it for the death of Mordecai. So before he went to this meeting, this feast, and at the feast, Esther, the queen, told the king, somebody has decided to kill all the Jews in your kingdom, and you have approved it. And you know, I'm a Jew. And the king reversed. I know because of time, we may not be able to finish the details. Let's go and read Esther chapter 3. The king reversed the situation, the decree, and asked the Jews to defend themselves if anyone tried to kill them. And a new decree was sent out through the kingdom that the Jews, if anyone tried to kill you, defend yourself. So sorrow turned into joy for the Jews on the day they were supposed to be destroyed because of fasting and praying.